So, no, I wouldn't say I have a passion for HR.
Welcome back to Human Resources for the People. It's a human capital revolution. Today we're going to be talking about a North Korean factory revolt, and it intrigues me as both a human resources person who has done a long time working in factories, as well as a person who likes geopolitics and everything else. This won't be that common on the channel, but first to give a background on this revolt. North Korea manufactures things in China, primarily as joint ventures and partnerships between state-owned enterprises in North Korea and Chinese companies. These operations are conducted in industries such as textile, apparel, electronics, and seafood processing. While North Korea faces international sanctions that restrict its ability to engage in trade and investment, some North Korean entities have established manufacturing operations in China to circumvent these sanctions and access global markets. There have been allegations that North Korean workers are sent to China to work in manufacturing operations under conditions that amount to forced labor. These workers are often employed in industries such as textile, construction, and food processing, and their wages are actually reportedly paid directly to the North Korean government, with only a fraction given to the workers themselves. And we're going to really be talking about that today. In addition, North Korean manufacturing operations in China raise concerns about sanctions evasion, as goods produced in these facilities may be exported to other countries without proper oversight or documentation. Reuters reported earlier this month that millions of dollars in sales of North Korean false eyelashes marketed in beauty stores around the world as made in China helped drive North Korea's exports last year. And so that's a way to give Kim Jong-un regimes a way to skirt international sanctions, giving them a source of foreign currency. This situation in China with North Korean factories really started bubbling up about 3 months ago. So 3 months ago, a notice on production performance evaluations, work regulations, and wage reduction rules were posted in posters at the North Korean company in Donghae. It said wages will be reduced if reprocessing is required due to a work mistake or if a defective product occurs. And, this might be scary for some people to know, but this was happening in the United States as of 10 years ago, maybe 15. A company I'm familiar with that, has long since ended this practice would take any defects of manufacturing out of your pay scale. Of course, you're paid piece rate. And what's interesting here is that they actually dock the leader's wages first. If 3 out of 200 pieces of clothing produced must be repaired, $7 is deducted, and that's big money. $7 is pretty huge in the context of this. They earn somewhere between 280 to 350 per month per person. These people are effective slaves. They're working 12 to 14 hours a day, and they only get 1 day off each month, although it is different company to company. Really, this report about the factory being taken over seems to slowly be dripping out. There was instances of it coming out on February 7th, and then more recently, and even back into late January, but there was no hard information. Ko Hyung Hwan, who defected, said he started hearing that workers exploded when they learned that a year's worth of unpaid wages got moved to a war preparation fund in Pyongyang. They got violent and started breaking sewing machines and kitchen utensils, and some even locked the North Korean officials in a room and assaulted them. There's no way at that time to independently verify that information, but they do say that riots broke out across several North Korean-run clothing factories in the northeast of China on January 11th. But more information is coming out. Radio Free Asia reported that North Korean workers occupied the factory to protest over unpaid wages and beat a management representative to death. There were about 2,000 workers at this trading company affiliated with North Korea's Ministry of Defense. It's a medical manufacturing and seafood processing plant, which is what a mixture, right? In Heilong, in the Jilin province of China. And they got this from North Korean sources. These workers were actually former female soldiers in their 20s, and they were upset about the fact that they hadn't been paid. And they said they were going to go on strike until they got paid. North Korea sent state security officials to try to get order, but the strike continued, the riot continued 3 more days when ultimately the hostage management representative was beaten to death. Of course, factory takeovers have happened forever. Even 2008 in Chicago, Republic Windows and Doors factory, 200 workers staged a sit-in and occupation after the company said it was closing, giving workers only a few days' notice. The workers demanded severance pay and benefits, which ultimately resulted in them receiving owed payments. The Vistion factory in Enfield, United Kingdom in 2009, the workers at the car parts factory in Enfield staged an occupation after the company announced the closure without adequate severance. In addition, the Zenon ceramics factory in Argentina in 2001, same deal. The owner was trying to close the plant, but the workers decided to continue production under their control, and it's been a model of worker-run cooperation. What I find to be interesting is, the workers' ownership and running of the plant is, of course, a tenet of communism and a tenet of the state socialism that China has once espoused, and North Korea had to send in security officials. What do you think? Does this indicate a serious issue that's pervasive throughout North Korea and in the China factories, or is this a one-off event? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.